The cost of being alive in Canada just went up. Let's be very clear. This isn't temporary inflation. What we're looking at is a permanent increase in the basic price floor for your survival.
So what does that actually look like? Well, according to Canada's latest food price report, the average family of four is now on the hook for nearly $1,000 more on food this year. And that's not for more food, that's just to buy the exact same things you bought last year. That brings the total projected annual food cost to $17,571. That's the new baseline, the new high score you have to beat just to keep your family fed.
What we're witnessing here is the creation of what we're calling the existence fee. Don't think of this as a temporary crisis. Think of it as a mandatory, non-cancelable subscription to survival. The price to simply exist has been fundamentally reset.
So how did we get here? Well, the core of the problem lies in the disconnect between the story you're being told and the reality you see on your grocery receipt. Here's the official story, the one based on the Consumer Price Index. They're telling you inflation is stabilized. They're reporting a rate of 2.2%. The message is clear, the crisis is over, everything's fine.
But the data for food, the stuff you actually buy at the grocery store, tells a completely different story. It jumped 4.9%. That's more than double the official rate. What this means is that food has essentially decoupled from the rest of the economy.
And when you drill down into that category, the numbers are frankly staggering. The price of fresh or frozen beef has soared by 17.7% in just 1 year. This isn't just an increase, it's the primary driver behind this new existence fee.
Let's be clear, a 17.7% jump on a staple food isn't a normal market fluctuation. This is a structural change. Beef has effectively been recategorized as a luxury good, putting a de facto tax on the average family's diet. And the consequence of this is a new kind of division in the Canadian diet, one based entirely on income. We're calling it the protein gap. Simply put, the ability to afford red meat is becoming a new class indicator.
But it's not just about the sticker price you see on the shelf. There are systemic tactics, hidden traps, and loopholes being used to extract even more money from you, often without you even noticing. The first tactic is something called skimpflation. This is where the package size and the price stay exactly the same, but the company quietly degrades the quality of the ingredients inside.
A prime example of this was recently spotted in the Loblaws Deli Greek pasta salad. Consumers noticed that the real feta cheese cubes had been replaced with what they basically called feta dust. And the dressing? It was swapped out for a much cheaper oil and vinegar base. The price, of course, stayed exactly the same. So you're paying a premium for a worse product.
Okay, the second tactic is one you've probably heard of, shrinkflation. This is the classic move of reducing the product size or the quantity while keeping the price the same or even raising it. And this isn't just happening to a few products here and there. Take a look at the bacon aisle. The entire industry standard has permanently shifted from a 500-gram package down to 375 grams. When you do the math, that's a hidden 33% price hike per gram. It's the existence fee literally cemented into the product itself.
But the most cynical application of shrinkflation by far involves exploiting a loophole in the Canadian tax code.
Here's how it works. In Canada, basic groceries are tax-free, and the government often defines what's basic by its size. For example, a 500-milliliter tub of ice cream is considered a basic tax-free grocery item. But when a manufacturer shrinks that package just a little, down to 473 milliliters, it can be legally reclassified as a single-serving snack. And what happens to snacks? They get taxed. So you end up paying more for less product, and then you pay a tax on top of it for the privilege.
So, to navigate this new landscape, you need a different strategy. We're calling this the survival protocol. Here are 3 rules you need to follow in the grocery aisle from now on.
Rule number 1, ignore the middle of the store. Seriously, the center aisles, the ones filled with cans, boxes, and processed goods, that's where inflation is hitting the hardest because of high packaging and transportation costs. Do your shopping on the perimeter.
Rule 2, audit the volume. You have to start paying attention to the net weight and volume, not just the price. If you see a product that's suddenly dropped below that 500 milliliter or 500 gram threshold, you need to be aware that you're probably about to pay a hidden tax on it. The solution? Buy the family size, or don't buy it at all.
And rule number 3, the freezer is your friend. With fresh produce prices being so volatile right now, the frozen aisle is where you'll find much more stable and predictable pricing.
In this environment, frozen is the new fresh. It's pretty much the last bastion of price stability left in the entire store.
Look, this entire system is built on one simple assumption, that you'll be passive, that you'll just tap your card without looking and maybe complain about it later. The only way to fight back against this existence fee is to become an active, vigilant consumer. Your choice in that aisle, that's your resistance.